Fox Sports.
We are sports. We are Sun.
Last night, Baltimore's defense bailed out left-hander Zach Britton as a perfect relay throw ended the Rays' 9th inning rally. Tonight, Matt Andriese goes to the hill, looking to lead the Rays to victory over Baltimore ace Chris Tillman. Tonight we greet you from Baltimore, Maryland, as the Rays' three-city road trip rolls on. This is Game 10 of 11 before the Rays get back to Tropicana Field for the final homestand. Tonight, Game 3 of the four-game series, the Rays squaring off against the Baltimore Orioles. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. Rays and the Orioles go at it tonight, and two pitchers coming off outstanding outings, and they're relieved for different reasons. Matt Andriese putting a stop to a losing streak. Chris Tillman on the hill tonight for this Baltimore ball club coming off the DL.
And that's what it is. I mean, two different versions of a comeback. For Matt Andriese, it was a bounce-back start his last time out. That was in New York against the Yankees. You know, he had hit a little bit of a rough patch, but he takes them out at Yankee Stadium, and he goes out there and throws 5 strong innings, gave up 6 hits, just 1 run on a solo homer, didn't walk anybody, and he got back to the formula that made him successful earlier in the season, pitching from the inside out. Strikes early, get you to chase, put you away quickly. Chris Tillman, about 2.5, 3 weeks spent on the disabled list, had some right shoulder issues, but he comes back in a big way. And boy, do the Orioles need him in this starting rotation if they want to continue this run. And his last start against the Tigers, 6 innings, 4 hits, a run, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, picking up a win. He's a guy, fastball, curveball, changeup, slider, and he mixes them very, very well.
15 games left in the regular season for both these clubs. It's a pressing matter for the Orioles. They are now 2.5 games out of first in the American League East. First pitch coming up in just a few moments. comfortable night here in Baltimore. First pitch just moments away at Camden Yards. The Rays and the Royals have divided the first two games of this series. Rays winning game 1 7-6 and dropping last night's game by a count of 5-4. And we'll take a look at the starting lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. For the Rays, Logan Forsythe will lead it off. He'll be followed by Kevin Kiermaier and then Evan Longoria. Miller, Dickerson, and Souza Jr. down the middle. Brad Miller back at shortstop with Dickerson the DH and Souza in right. Schaefer's at first, Montook in left. Kurt Casale will do the catching and bat ninth.
Well, taking the mound tonight for the Baltimore Orioles. We talked about him in the open. Right-hander Chris Tillman making his 28th start of the season. He picked up that 16th win his last time out against the Tigers. 6 strong innings, and this will be the 5th start against the Rays this season. 3-0 with a 3.04 in the 4 previous. Let's take a look at the defense and see how it's going to line up behind him here tonight. Brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. And in the outfield, left to right, we have Hyun-Soo Kim, Adam Jones, and Michael Bourne. Across that infield, third to first, Manny Machado, J.J. Hardy, Jonathan Scope, and Chris Davis with Matt Wieters behind the plate.
It's Kevin Cash, the Rays skipper. What an ending to the game last night. Only the second time in Rays history that they have the potential tying run thrown out at the plate to end the game. So the Rays now 5-12 against Baltimore in the season series, and they've captured just 1 win here at Orioles Park. They are 1-7 here this year. They'll be facing Chris Tillman tonight, 28-year-old right-hander. And here's Logan Forsythe to begin it. Forsythe hitting .280 with 19 home runs. All set to lead off against the tall right-hander. And the first pitch is a called strike. Jerry Cedarstrom calling the balls and strikes. 78 degrees here at game time. The pitch is down.
Well, as we said in the open, he throws all 4 pitches: fastball, curveball, slider, changeup, mixes them very well, does not get overly predictable. What would you call that pitch? That was 80 miles an hour. I'm not sure what you would call it. Maybe there's a 5th pitch involved.
Well, it's ball 2 for one thing. 2-1. Back into the screen. 2-2. Tillman, an 11-game winner a year ago. He was 11-11 in 31 starts. This is his 28th start of this season. This is down. Fastball down there. And the count is full to Logan Forsythe. Cut the miss. He's out on strikes. So Forsythe, first man up and the first man down here to begin this one. A strikeout for Tillman.
Well, you know what? A little bit out of sync here on the swing. He goes 90 miles an hour. You see the late action right there is Logan. He's trying to reach that, trying to stay back up the middle, and a little bit too quick.
Kevin Kiermaier taking a breaking ball, the curveball down. Kevin starts the night hitting .250, 1 for 4 last night. He doubled in the first and scored on Evan Longoria's home run. Foul ball out of play, nothing in 2. Oh, look out. Kiermaier hit by the pitch. An 0-2 pitch. Kiermaier winds up sitting just in front of the batter's box there. So he'll head to first.
Here it is, another pitch that was yanked. You know, we've seen a couple of these by Tillman already. Balls yanked to that side of the plate. And that one, certainly not what he was looking to do there. 0-2. Kiermaier aboard.
Well, Tillman has not been an easy guy to run on either. No steals against him this year. 3 caught stealings. There's a strike to Evan. Breaking ball starts him.
And to see that with a right-handed pitcher, boy, that's saying something. I mean, just no stolen bases is astounding. Only 3 attempts, but he will vary his times, be quick to the plate.
Nice pick there by Wieters, and the count is 1-1. Tillman had a few seasons ago in which he gave up 1 stolen base all year, had a pickoff, and 8 caught stealings. Two and 1. And Evan has had great success against him in their matchups, especially early. A 2-1 count on Longoria right now. And the strike catching the outside edge. 2-2. There it is. 17 of 60 with 7 home runs off Tillman. Runner goes, good jump, and the pitch is fouled away. Well, had Longoria not fouled that, a great jump by Kiermaier. We may have just seen the first stolen base of the year with Tillman on the mound.
Well, and from a guy who's stolen 17 straight, a lot of confidence.
He's stolen as many in succession as the Orioles have all year as a team.
Yeah, that's remarkable. You know, this Oriole team, you know, we talk about how one-dimensional they can be with the long ball, but you look at the stolen base department, they have 17 stolen. They only have 28 total attempts on the season, and the team with the second fewest steals in Major League Baseball has 32 successful stolen bases. The Orioles have 28 attempts.
Now a quick move over to first. Kiermaier back in there head first. There's a little soft liner going to be caught by Scope. No play at first. Kiermaier ducking back in. Longoria, a little slice to that liner, caught by Scope.
Well, missed the barrel. You get soft contact, and that ball really didn't go anywhere.
So 2 gone, with a man still at first for Brad Miller. Brad 0 for 4 in the game last night. In the first game of the series here Thursday, he was on twice with a double and a walk. He doubled and scored a run, went officially 1 for 4 in that game. Kiermaier back in there. A good matchup right here of Kiermaier and Tillman, with Kevin taking that lead. Miller waiting at the plate. fouls the pitch away for a strike. 0-1.
You see those swings from Brad Miller, you understand why he hits the ball so hard. I mean, when he swings the bat, it is decisive and it is meant to turn that baseball into an egg. Get those hands set, no batting gloves, leg kick, and let it fly.
Now 1-1. Strikeout of Forsythe. Kiermaier hitting the calf by a pitch. Longoria line to second. And the 1-1 to Brad Miller. Here it is. Foul out of play again to the left. Everything away from Miller here by Tillman. Goes Kiermaier, and the pitch is fouled away. That pitch up and away, almost a little pitch out there. You could see Wieters get up and start to receive that pitch up and away, and Miller fouling it. Tillman coming off the 3-1 win over Detroit on the road his last time. That pitch is off the plate, well off the plate. And it's 2-2. The line on Tillman, another move to first. That start against the Tigers on the 11th, his first since the 20th of August, when he lasted just 2 innings against Houston, gave up 6 runs, matching the shortest outing of the year for him, and then he went on the DL with bursitis in the right shoulder. He strikes out Miller. Rays leave a man at first. Bottom of the first coming up, no score. Rays leaving a man aboard in the top of the inning. And the lineup for Baltimore, presented by your Southern Ford dealers, has Adam Jones at the top of the lineup, followed by Yoon Soo Kim. Manny Machado hits third, plays third, in front of the first baseman Chris Davis. Jonathan Scope at second, Pedro Alvarez the DH. Matt Wieters behind the plate. Batting eighth is the shortstop J.J. Hardy. Michael Bourne in there again tonight, hitting ninth, playing right field.
Well, for Matt Andriese, continue to build, and he's made 16 starts on the season, another 10 outings out of the bullpen, and overall the 7-7 record. But we talked talked about it in the open. His last time out, he really stopped a slide, threw the ball well against a very desperate Yankee team in Yankee Stadium, holding them to just 1 run in 5 innings.
So here is Adam Jones. He goes after the first pitch and lofts a high pop-up that's going to be out of play. Well foul back a third. Strike 1. Well, as we all know by now, Adam Jones frequently comes out swinging, and he does again tonight. 27 home runs for Jones, serving as the leadoff hitter in Buck Showalter's lineup. 1-1 count. And Andres 0-3 in his career against the Orioles. He's had a tough time against this team. 2-1, allowing 13 earned runs in just under 13 innings. That's spread over 5 appearances. 2 other starts. Fly ball deep to right. Souza Jr. will go back to the wall, runs into the wall. He falls down. The ball caroms to Kiermaier. Into second base goes Jones. A double to start the bottom of the first.
You know, and we see this a lot from Steven Souza Jr. He plays reckless at times with his body, but I don't think that he knew where the wall was. He was kind of eyeing this fly ball here. You see the driven by Adam Jones, but he's eyeballing this thing like he's going to make a play. Didn't feel for the wall, jumped back and jumped right into it, and it knocked him down. Not the first time we've seen that. With Souza Jr. and the walls just do not get along very well.
Yeah, that's not a winning proposition for him. That wall doesn't give much. Here's Kim, the left fielder. Pitches a strike at the knees. Kim hitting .310 after a slow start this year. And a run batted in last night's game. Reaching for that one, got a little bit of it. 0-2. Hard to tell sometimes with Andres out there about the pitch selection, because he gets a couple variations of movement on the changeup.
Yeah, and there's one that distinctly looks like a slider. I mean, that's exactly what it looks like when he lets it go.
Ground ball for Forsythe. Over to third goes Jones. Kim's out, second to first.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the Rays defense and set that up for you here. Brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. In that outfield, left to right, Mikey Matuk, Kevin Kiermaier, and Steven Souza Jr. Across the infield, third to first, Evan Longoria, Brad Miller, Logan Forsythe, and Richie Schaefer. Kurt Casale gets the call behind the plate tonight.
So 1 out with a man at third for Manny Machado. 91 runs batted in for the Orioles' third baseman. Into right center. Souza closes down to a knee to make the catch, and he drops it as he was trying to get the ball out of the glove. So it's a sacrifice fly. Jones scores, and Machado drives in the first run of the game with a sacrifice fly to right field.
And Souza Jr. had trouble making that catch. I don't know if that line drive got into the bank of lights, but you're going to see him right down here go down, having a little bit of trouble seeing that, but he does come up with a catch, and then as he reaches for it, that ball falls out.
So it's a catch, an out, and a sacrifice fly, allowing the run to score. Chris Davis takes that pitch high, 1-0. We're talking about that the other night. A couple of years ago, that probably would not have been an out.
No, probably about it. Absolutely. I mean, you had to make the catch, get it in your hand, take 3 or 4 steps before it was considered done.
Kiermaier under this one, skied to center. First inning is over. The Orioles get a run. On to the second, 1-0 Baltimore. Before we go to the second, you can follow Rays Baseball live with the MLB.com At Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day. Live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet. Corey Dickerson will open the second inning for the Rays. Carries with him 20 home runs to the plate this year, hitting .245. One ball, no strikes. Two and 0 the count. Souza Jr. to follow, and then Richie Schaefer. See, the last 10 games, a .436 average for Dickerson, and that includes the 0 for 4 last night. And he has swung a hot bat on this road trip.
You can tell that by the way that Chris Tillman is pitching it very, very carefully as he fell behind early. Everything away and everything thus far right on that edge or just off. 2-2. Just continues to pepper that outside corner.
Been an up and down season for Dickerson, and better recently in the last month or so. And that's a strike call. He stayed away, and Tillman got the call out there. Dickerson thought the pitch was wide. Might have been, but it was close.
You know, and he didn't mean to. Watch the setup of Matt Wieters. Matt Wieters is middle in. This ball is away, not on purpose, but it gets the job close enough.
Well, that's what the body can do to you. You're loading up with pitches away, 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 and you're thinking, well, let's go in. And the body says, no, we've been pitching away. We're going to continue to pitch away.
You got to override it at some point.
Steven Souza Jr. after the first pitch lofts it high back into center, and Jones is there to grab it. A strikeout and a first pitch out on the fly ball to center. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Richard Schaefer. 2-run home run. Although Jimenez grooved one. The first pitch Schaefer saw in the second inning, and he hit it out. A strike on the inside part of the plate. He skies this one on the infield. Hardy, the shortstop, makes the catch. 1, 2, 3 go the Rays. 8 pitches in the inning. 1-0 Baltimore.
Yards with the Rays on defense now in the bottom half of the second inning. We're up on the roof deck, guys, which offers you a great perspective of how much ground the outfielders, and in particular Kevin Kiermaier, covers in center field. And last night in our Geico great moment, Kiermaier covered a whole lot of ground to get back on this fly ball that could have been a grand slam home run. Instead, Kiermaier almost makes the phenomenal catch, holds to a single, and only 1 run scored. And Kiermaier, you guys heard it after the game in the post-game show, and again today he reiterated. He said, I don't care what the degree of difficulty is. If I get my glove on the ball, I feel like I have to catch it. He feels like there was a ball in left center field the first game of this series on Thursday and the one last night that he is disappointed he didn't come down with it. Most guys don't even come close to touching the baseball. Kiermaier expects to make the catch. And guys, by the way, I don't want to confuse you even further about defensive run save, but even though he saved 3 runs last night, his DRS, defensive run save number, went up 2 after last night's game. It's all formulaic. Back to you.
Yeah, see, they hide behind the formulaic stuff, and that's bogus. That's bootleg.
He said, great word, Dwayne. Great word, but it is bootleg.
He obviously right there saved 3 runs.
Hands down.
With no question. So how can they, oh, he saved 2? What?
And hide behind a formula that nobody knows what it is.
Yeah, that's right. It's in mom's basement somewhere. Swing and a miss. Scope is out of there. So that's the first out here in the bottom of the second. I mean, it's 3-run save. Your own eyes. Reality tells you it's 3-run save, but the formula says no, it's 2. What?
And we're going to live by the formula.
Yeah, no, and it makes no sense.
Well.
Okay, good.
Everybody's feisty today.
I'm telling you.
This is what happens on football weekends during baseball season. You know, I haven't even taken my coat off. Yeah, I got to the booth at 3:30 to watch the Nebraska-Oregon game, and I haven't even, you know, I'm not even sure who's playing at this point.
I'm going to tell you this: the formula is guilty of a personal foul, even a flagrant foul against Kiermaier, giving him only 2 runs saved instead of 3 on that. A chopper by Alvarez. He'll take the toss, and Reese over taking the toss from Schaefer. So that's 2 up and 2 down.
Yeah,
we seem to be calm here. Our jackets are on. The ties are fairly straight. But yeah, that news from Todd really upset us here a little bit.
Well, yeah, like I said, I'm not really. My jacket should be out and the sleeves rolled up, ready to get into this ball game. But you show up. We had how many different football games on in the booth? 3 different football games in the booth. Everybody's riled up, and then we get that from Todd.
Yeah.
Just furthering.
Yeah, and I think Todd knew what he was doing.
No. He popped into the booth a couple times here
had that
before
little
the game.
smile.
We always when Nebraska was losing too.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you guys, they may come back. They never know. With that little smirk.
Yeah.
He's lucky I didn't fire him right out into the stands.
Reeders pops it up, foul ball down the left side into foul territory. That's Longoria making the catch. So a 1-2-3 second. We go to the third. It's good to be finished with the second inning. Leading, we go to the third inning. Toyota inside look. 16 wins for Chris Tillman. Rick Porcello with 20. Jay Happ 19. Then Corey Kluber and Tillman. 3 pitchers tied with 16 wins. His development has been very big for this Baltimore club after they got him in the deal a few years ago from Seattle. There's a curveball taken by Matuk for a strike. On the way to the backstop, 1-1. Tillman won 16 games ago. In 2013, he was 16-7. 13-6 the following year, and as we mentioned earlier, 11-11 last year. Back at 16-5 starting this game tonight. 1-2.
Well, he's done a lot of winning for Buck Showalter and this Baltimore team, leading the way, and happy to have him back as they look to continue their trek in the standings, trying to win this division first and foremost, and at the very minimum make the playoffs, which is where they are right now. They need a healthy and effective Chris Tillman.
You know, that deal with Seattle turned out to be a pretty good deal for the Orioles. Among others, they got Chris Tillman and Adam Jones for Eric Bedard, who had a difficult time with Seattle. And a brief stop here with the Rays. But to get Tillman, a frontline starting pitcher, and Jones in that deal, a big lift for this Baltimore franchise. Two and two. How to play it goes, holding the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Continues to battle here, extending it to what will at least be an 8-pitch at bat. And a cut and a miss. Now took out on strikes. The 4th strikeout already for Tillman.
Well, he's got 130 of them in 159 innings coming in. Boy, that was a slider right there. Very hittable, kind of a hanger. Middle of the plate, and Matuk just missed it. Sometimes you get away with one.
Well, he had worked them down so often. I'm surprised to see even a pitch like that back up on him.
Yeah, those are usually the pitches that hitters' eyes start to bug out of their head. Like, really, you're hanging me a slider right in the middle of the plate?
Strike on Kurt Casale. Takes a fastball on the outside corner. Boy, of these right-handed hitters, he has worn out the corner out there.
And think about the way that he pitched Corey Dickerson. So he's right now being able to command the fastball to both sides of the plate. I mean, the way that he struck out Dickerson, he wanted to come in and it stayed away. But for the most part, he's been able to drive the fastball where he wants it. And that's where everything for a pitcher starts. Command the fastball. Everything else typically falls into place after that.
Two and two. Baltimore got a run in the first. Fly ball by Machado scored Jones. Now the count is full. Tillman missed wide on that pitch. Top of the order will be next. That's Logan Forsythe. The miss. Well, Casale out on strikes and him out in front. 5 strikeouts for Tillman, the first time through the Rays lineup.
Well, you see it right there. That ball just down and away. I mean, nothing fancy about it. Very similar to the way that he got Logan Forsythe. Drive it out there, get a hitter to swing over the top of it. Tillman tall. He's got that over-the-top type look, and when he drives the ball downhill, it can be difficult.
The first pitch strike to Forsythe. Logan came in 9 out of 30 against him. It's an even 300 and struck out swinging his first time. One and one. Boston beat New York today 6-5. Matt Barnes got that win. Warren, the losing pitcher, into center field. Closing is Jones, and he makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down, go the Rays through 2.5. 1-0 Baltimore. The bottom of the third for Baltimore. The Toyota keys to success. Hardy having exactly that. A Hardy September, hitting .370. His overall average up to .272 for the year. And he leads it off here, hitting in front of Bourne and then Jones. And that's a well-placed fastball on the outside corner for strike one. Look out. This one deflects off Andriese, out of the reach of Schaefer, into shallow right field, and Andriese limping a bit after taking that shot off the bat of Hardy. And the Rays will have to take a look at their starting pitcher tonight to see if he's okay. Here it is again.
Boy, right off that right shin area, side of the leg. That was a short hop. That ball got hit pretty hard by Hardy.
Ron Porterfield out to take a look.
Yeah, and you know, thing is, that's his right leg. That's his drive, his push leg. He's going to have to be able to push off the mound. See, that ball catches him down just above the ankle, it looked like.
You know, Ty's amazing, the adrenaline of the moment. He's running over there to try to cover first base. Realizes the play's going to be over, and then it hits you that something did hit you. So Hardy's at first base, and we'll see if Matt is all right to continue. Tosses and a conversation with Ron Porterfield. Well, the Rays figured to have Chase Whitley back up Matt Andriese as they did the last time Matt started, to give both these right-handers some work. Going to stay in the game. Hardy with a leadoff base hit. Here's Michael Bourne. Ford hitting .273. Shorten's on the bat. The pinch is down. Going Longoria in closer at third. Going with a hit last night, the sacrifice fly. That will be a strike. Right down central. 1-1 now. Hardy back in at first. Bunt attempt. He missed it. 1-2.
And good late action on that pitch by Andriese, and Bourne not able to pull the bat away. In fact, goes after it. Big strike to pick up here. So you just cannot get it back in time.
First back in is Hardy. And a nice stop right there by Casale, battling to keep that pitch in front of him and playable should Hardy try to make a move on it. One on, nobody out. Base hit into right. Hardy will advance to second and hold. And the first two men are on for Baltimore for the top of the order.
Well, mislocation, and it ends up down and in. And watch Michael Bourne just drop the barrel. Down and in, just drop the barrel. Plenty of room over there on the right side. That pitch meant to be down and away, ends up down and in, ends up into right field.
Top of the order, Adam Jones, who doubled and scored in the first. Takes a big cut, fouls it, strike one. Doubled off the wall in right. Broke the ball, and Souza bounded off the wall out there in right field. Jones eventually scored on Machado's fly ball to right. Jones chasing that pitch well up and out of the zone.
Yeah, I mean, aggressive. Talked about that, swing at the first pitch of the game. Love to swing that bat, and you can entice him with the fastball. You get it up there. I mean, even that one, it's up near the face. I mean, shoulder high heater, and he is not afraid to cut loose. You take that information as a pitcher and realize you got a lot of space to work with.
Little tapper charged at third. Quick throw to first. Out there. Nice play by Longoria. And a scoop on the receiving end by Schaefer. And the runners advance into second and third.
Everything got a little bit slow there at the end of that play. That hop from Evan kind of gets in between as he charges it right here. Now he's got to kind of soft toss it. You're Richie Schaefer with a little soft scoop. It's the only play that the Rays could have made there, and they did. And now you got to get busy here with Kim.
Well, here's Kim, Hyun-Soo Kim, the left fielder. With 2 men in scoring position, 1 out in a 1-0 game, Baltimore. Pitch away, 1-0. Entered the game hitting .310. Deck. Baltimore trailing in the East by 2.5, tied with Toronto. Red Sox beat the Yankees 6-5 today. That's a strike, dropping in. 2-1. Betts scored the go-ahead run in that game on a wild pitch.
How about that? 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning, and they hold on once again. The Yankees just have not been able to get out of their own way last few games.
Betts had singled home the tying run earlier in that inning. There's a shot to center field. Kiermaier back in front of the track making the catch. Hardy tags. He's going to score. Throw to third. Will not be in time as Bourne advances. The Orioles take a 2-0 lead on Kim's fly ball to center.
It's all he's trying to do. You know, those runners where they were, you're thinking, if you're Kim, get the ball into the outfield, guarantee yourself a run if you can get it deep enough. Love to get a base hit, but that works just as well. And now he's got a runner with speed there at third base. You start thinking about the Andriese changeup, and Kurt Casale had better be active.
Manny Machado. So both runs so far scoring on sacrifice flies. Machado's fly ball scored Jones in the first. Hardy scores in the second on the fly ball by Kim. First pitch into Machado on the ground to third. Longoria makes the play to first to retire the side. The damage limited to 1 after the first 2-minute race. 2-0 Baltimore. We go to the fourth, 2-0 Baltimore. Kevin Kiermaier set to lead off the inning for the Rays. Rays close out the home schedule against the Red Sox. That'll be Sunday on the 25th. Children can take a Rays mascot home, and all kids 14 and under receive the DJ Kitty toothbrush holder presented by United Concordia Dental. While supplies last, call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com. Kiermaier takes the pitch outside. He's been hit by a pitch his first time. He's the only base runner the Rays have had through the first 3 innings against Chris Tillman. Off the end of the bat, foul cued toward the third base side. 1-1. Two and one. We mentioned the Orioles tied with Toronto. The Blue Jays on the West Coast against the Angels tonight. That game will start in about an hour in Anaheim. 3-1 to Kiermaier. Baltimore and the Blue Jays with identical records, 81 and 66 each. 2.5 out of first. Pop left side, foul ball. Wieters after it. One gone. With one out in the fourth, that brings up Evan Longoria. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Evan Longoria with 34 home runs now, the single season club record 42. Carlos Pena holding that. He also hit 39 2 years later. Longoria with 34, matching the single season high for a right-handed hitter. Jose Canseco at 99 hit 34. Here's the blast last night by Evan.
How about Evan in this series? You know, they hit a home run in game 1, gave the Rays a 3-run lead in the first. Last night gives them a quick 2-0 lead. And facing a guy here tonight that he's, you know, him and Tillman and CC Sabathia has homered off both of those guys 7 times.
Pitch is a strike. He tried to check. Could not. Now 1-2. There right on the edge.
Yeah, you know, really that could have been a no call, and you would have been fine with it.
Yep. Fastball fouled straight back. Still 1-2. Dirt. Tillman got off to a great start. He was 9-1 through his first 14 starts. Right now 16-5, and about with shoulder bursitis and put him on the DL. He's pitching his second game since coming off the DL.
When you look at his numbers, the breakout pre and post All-Star, his post All-Star game ERA almost a full run higher than it was before that. You wonder if that shoulder obviously had something to do with it, because his last start before going on the DL, you know, the Houston Astros tuned him up pretty good, 6 earned in 2 innings, and a couple of days after that he found himself on the list.
This one into right field. Bourne cutting to his left, makes a diving attempt. It gets by him. Longoria around second, heads for third. He will make that standing up. A triple for Evan Longoria. A diving catch attempt by Bourne, and that gives Longoria his 4th triple of the year.
Well, and with 1 out, that's a risk there by Bourne. You know, with 2 outs, you don't mind as much, but with 1 out, you're like, you know what, play this, try to keep him at first base. Maybe he's able to stretch it into a double, but by diving and coming up empty, you have just handed the Rays 3 bases. And with 1 out, that's a run that they should get home. Very, very risky move there by Michael Bourne, and it did not work out.
Now Brad Miller, he pops it back out of play. Left side, strike 1. So the Rays, with their first scoring opportunity of the night, and it comes on the triple. Two. Tillman quickly ahead here in this situation. Ground ball, first base side. Davis going to come home, safe. Ray's going to run as Davis decides to come home to try to cut down the run, and Longoria beat the play.
There was some indecision by Chris Davis. Either that, it took him forever to wind up and make that throw, and that's where this was lost. I thought for sure he's going to take the out, because watch how long it takes him. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and go. Long wind up on the throw, and Evan Longoria absolutely is in there. Ball on the ground, Rays aggressive on the base pass. Chris Davis with a long loopy wind up to get that ball to the plate. Takes a little bit too long, and Evan backdoors him.
So the Rays are on the board. 73rd run batted in for Brad Miller. He's aboard on a fielder's choice, and the Rays convert that triple into a run. Here's Corey Dickerson. Pitch is up. Saw Longoria there in the railing of the Rays dugout. He had to leg out the triple, and then he had to really get down the line in a hurry from third and beat the throw from Davis.
And some refreshments, well deserved. Got to hydrate, Dwayne.
Yep, that's right. Part of the process. 1-1 now with Dickerson, who was caught looking on a pitch away his first time up. Behind 1-2. Dickerson 2 out of 12 on the year against Chris Tillman. Rays seeing him for the 5th time this year. And Dickerson is out on strikes. 2 gone in the inning. Strikeout number 6 for Tillman.
Continues to ring up the strikeouts, and again, nothing real fancy about it. Ball swung on and foul tipped right into the glove of Wieters.
New baseball into play for Tillman. Steven Souza Jr., the hitter. He's had a good run of success against Tillman. 6 of 18 coming into this game. 0 for 1 tonight. Takes a cut and fouls it back. Baltimore with a run in the first, a run in the third. The Rays have a run in the fourth. By Souza Jr. That fastball right down central, up a little bit, but in the zone.
Yeah, I mean, not even up where you should be able to get away with it. I mean, that ball right there, I see Souza Jr., a couple of these Rays hitters probably like to see that again.
And he takes that one a little bit wide. That's a close pitch. That's a pitch that had been called a strike before.
Yeah. And you can see on Fox Tracks, he's just walking Souza Jr. right across the plate.
Same spot with that pitch, and it's 2-2 off speed this time. Souza requesting time, granted by Gary Cederstrom, the plate umpire. Oh, look out. That pitch riding in on him, and it hits him on the hand. Souza Jr. hit by a pitch. That's going to move Miller up to second. Souza will head to first.
You know, there are times that Tillman's been able to hit his spot, but here again, trying to go down and away, ends up and in and right off the hand of Souza Jr. That gives the Rays here a two-out opportunity. Runner out there at second base now, and Brad Miller.
2 men on, 2 men out, a 2-1 game. Schaefer coming up for the second time. Pop to the shortstop, his first time. A little tap off the mound. Tillman, the throw back to first in time, and the Rays settled for a single run into fourth and trailed by 1, 2-1. On Fox Sports Sun, brought to you by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram. By Furman. Shop FurmanChevyTampa.com today. By Bank of America. Life's better when we're connected. And by Toyota. Let's go places. In Baltimore. Too far from the inner harbor here at Oriole Park. Bottom of the fourth inning finds Chris Davis leading off. taking the pitch for a strike. Tonight's Buick GMC big matchup. Last 9 games against the Rays. Davis is hitting .333 with 11 runs batted in those 9 games and 5 home runs. And Andriese ahead of him. 0-2. Change up just a little piece of it fouled. The tap foul again, this time right side. Jonathan Scope will be next, and then Pedro Alvarez. Scope on deck. He has been a major plus for the Orioles offensively and defensively. Into the dirt right there. A ball, 2 strikes.
One of 6 guys in this lineup. Mark Trumbo's not in the lineup here tonight, but one of 6 guys on the team with at least 20 home runs. Plays a good second base. Kind of solidified things there for the Orioles. You think about him and J.J. Hardy, very solid middle guys, very important to a team's success.
Line drive, knocked down, picked up by Forsythe, throw to first, not in time. Forsythe out of the shift in short right field. Knocked it down and just could not get quite enough on the throw, and Davis is aboard.
Yeah, the one downside to being that far away, you do get more range, but if there's any hiccups, you're probably not going to be able to make the play. It gets by Miller, and that ball kind of came back and bounced off of Forsythe. By the time he recovers, that's what you're talking about, Dwayne. That throw had a lot of air underneath it, and Davis able to sneak in for a hit.
Hit number 4 for Baltimore. And here is Jonathan Scope. Scope in many ways fits right in with this Baltimore lineup.
We've had some fun with this before, but Matt Andriese picked some of the strangest times to throw to first. You remember who was it that he threw over on that wasn't even leading off at that point?
Fly ball center field. Kiermaier is there. It'll be the first out. Yeah, and Chris Davis does have a steal, but you know, not a sizable lead.
No, and he's not going anywhere. And the thing is, you just wonder if it's not a mechanism that Andriese uses, because you know he had the balk issue in coming set. That if he just comes set and doesn't feel comfortable, just throw over and reset yourself. Because he's thrown over sometimes where you're like, interesting. Interesting. Maybe he knows more than we do, but you wouldn't have expected that.
Here's Pedro Alvarez. He starts to go. That's a strike. Alvarez grounded out to Schaefer at first. And his only trip to the plate so far. The fastball by him. 1-run ball game here. Baltimore with a run in the first, another run in the third. They've had men on base in 3 of the first 4 innings. Andriese had a 1-2-3 second. So the 2-strike count. Left side, Longoria to second one, and Miller's throw to first in time. So that's a 5-6-3 double play, and we go to the fifth. 2-1 Baltimore. The end of 4. Coming up Friday the 23rd, Rays celebrate Latin culture with Hispanic Heritage Night. And you can now get 2 upper-level tickets for just $21. Rays hosting the Red Sox and highlighting Hispanic-influenced food, music, and entertainment. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com. Rays up. Mikey Montook leads it off, sends a fly ball into left going after the first pitch. Kim is there to put it away. 1 pitch, 1 out. Montook 0 for 2. Rays facing Chris Tillman, 6'5" right-hander. Here's Casale.
And I'll tell you this, the off-speed pitches here for Tillman tonight have not been very sharp. That was a hanging slider. We've seen a couple other sliders that were not exactly in the best spot. The curveball's been inconsistent command. Same with the changeup. And so you just wonder, the velocity on the fastball, it's been right there, 87, 91.
Yeah, that fastball essentially tops out around 91. Maybe occasionally a tad higher than that, but consistently around 91.
Yeah, there are times when you see his high tonight, 94. Every once in a while he will reach back for a little extra, but certainly does not pitch there. And right there, 89, right by you, top part of the strike zone.
A ball, 2 strikes, the count on Casale. Rays got their run on a 1-out triple in the 4th. Fielder's choice off the bat of Brad Miller got Evan Longoria home. Ground ball second. Scope up with it. 2 up, 2 down in the 5th. So we go to the top of the order. Here's Logan Forsythe. Logan has struck out, lined out to center field. breaking ball, and not much to that one. Stayed up and in.
Yeah, no, I mean, the last, I don't know if he's been able to throw a curveball yet tonight for a strike. Very, very inconsistent. And like I said, with a lot of the off-speed pitches, even that fastball, we've seen him yank some fastballs. He's not been overly sharp. And yet here, 2 outs into the 5th inning, he's given up just a run. And really, that could have been prevented if Michael Bourne does not go for it on that dive against Longoria. May not have given up anything.
Behind Forsythe, 3-0. Bourne out in right field. And he walks him on 4 pitches. Missed in with that one. He hit a man. He hit Kiermaier in the 1st inning. And hit Souza Jr. in the 4th inning. And now the first walk with 2 outs coming in the 5th. Showing the bunt, takes the pitch for a ball. One ball, no strikes. Kiermaier had a double last night. And he fouls it back. Pitch up away from him and a little bit off the plate. Count is now 1-1. Kevin walked and singled, scored 2 runs in the game here Thursday night, and in the process picked up his 19th steal. At the plate now with Logan Forsythe aboard at first. Two and one.
Yeah, you almost get the feeling that Chris Tillman is recognizing exactly what we're recognizing. The good stuff is not there. The usual excellent command is not there. And so you see him pitching to the fringes. A lot of pitches off the plate. Again, he's not giving in when he falls behind for the most part.
And it's lifted into shallow right field. Bourne is there to make the catch. And boy, good cut by Kiermaier off speed. And that retires the side. 2-1 Baltimore, middle of 5. Baltimore, bottom of the 5th coming up. $2 Dog Day presented by KM Franks. Twice the fun with $2 Pepsi fountain drinks. Double up on the deals when the Rays take on the Yankees Wednesday. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit raysbaseball.com/specials. Matt Wieters leading off the bottom of the 5th. Takes a fastball away. Fouled out to Longoria in the 2nd inning. Hardy will follow, and then Bourne. Two and one. And Reese had made 42 pitches through the front 4. And 3 into the 5th now.
That's more in line, actually even better than what we saw from Andriese earlier in the season. Very, very efficient. You've got the added benefit of pitching against a team that's very, very aggressive, but still, you've got to be able to put him in good spots and get out of those innings. And look at how he's got that. Only one time has he hit 15, which is the gold standard. That's where everything is kind of based off of. And you think about spring training outings, 2 innings, 30 pitches, 3 innings, 45. And he's been under that.
A nice little changeup to get even with Wieters at 2 and 2. See the location of that 4th pitch there. Moves Wayne Kirby, the first base coach. Count is still 2 and 2. Pitch is down. So the count is full. Catching courtesy there. Wieters to Casale. Wieters picked up his mask and held it for him. Returned the piece of equipment.
It's all about giving back, Wayne.
Yep. And sharing.
Yep.
Sharing's important.
And the kids. It's like and more. And the children.
3-2, got it. Swing and a miss. That's the first out and the second strikeout posted by Matt Andriese.
Did he go up in the zone with the changeup? I think that was a changeup right there. Let's see. Yeah, that's that little spinner. He doesn't want it up there, but you know, hey, if it works out to be a strikeout, you'll take it every time.
Jay Hardy looks at a first pitch strike. One and one. Well, Hardy opened the 3rd with a base hit, scored their 2nd run. He was driven home by Kim. Too close, and it's 2 and 1. A 7-7 record for Matt Andriese. He won his first 6 decisions, then lost 7, and beat the Yankees his last time out 4-2 to even his record.
Well, he had gone on a stretch, Dwayne, where the first 76 innings where he had the great record, he was 6-2, 272, but in those 76 innings, only 4 home runs. In his last 35 coming into tonight, he had given up 11, and that's the big reason why those numbers started to go south. Instead of working you know, we talk about working inside out, early strikes, expand, put guys away. He was out, having to come back in, and now bad counts, missing out over the plate, long ball became a factor.
Well, you talked about it early, and I think this is true of every pitcher, that command of the fastball is so important because it can help you get out ahead of hitters. And then you can have your way with some of these hitters.
And it even allows you, if you've got, you know, very good command of the fastball, you can go to the fastball 3-1, 2-0. Because if you can command it, just because a guy's looking for a fastball doesn't mean you don't throw it. You've got to get it to the right spot. And that's where the command comes in. We were talking with Big Jim Palmer about that.
Yes. This deflecting off Andriese. Got his glove down, but could not close the deal. And the ball picked up by Forsythe. Hardy is aboard.
And Matt Andriese, target practice right now. Second time here tonight already. A ball. It was J.J. Hardy last time, huh? This one off the glove.
Yep.
Hardy with that up the middle approach.
Yeah,
he's all over Andriese.
He's got that down.
You know that's what they're laughing about right now.
Look, that's two of them. Using that great speed. 5 hits by the Orioles. This one deflecting off Andriese. And his glove, the first one literally deflected off Andriese. Here's Bourne sending a fly ball center field. Kiermaier is going to have to go back. He's there and makes the catch a couple steps from the track. And Bourne is out on the fly ball.
Hit that ball hard. But for Michael Bourne, that's the wrong two things. The wrong part of the field to try to drive the ball to if you're Michael Bourne. And second of all, you don't challenge this guy either. And he's, once again, filthy uniform.
Yep.
The norm.
And it never takes long for that to happen.
We got to start keeping an eye on him when he's getting loose before a game.
Yeah.
This could happen pre-first pitch.
Top of the order, Adam Jones. Jones fly ball into left. Montook is there to make the catch on that one. He had him out in front. Gave up the power. 2-1 through 5 Baltimore. One-run ball game here through 5. The Rays and the Orioles. Manny Machado sacrifice fly in the first. Scored Adam Jones. They got another run on a sacrifice fly. Young-Soo Kim's fly ball to center scored J.J. Hardy. That made it 2-0, and the Rays got a run on a triple by Evan Longoria, and this fielder's choice ground ball off the bat of Brad Miller. Chris Davis decided to go home with it, and the throw was not in time. The Rays got just that one run, so we go to the 6th, and it's Evan Longoria again, leading off the 6th inning this time, with Miller and Dickerson to follow. The ball, no strikes. Home run and 2 singles last night. Homer and a single in the game here Thursday. And a triple and 2 trips to the plate tonight. 2-0. One. 3 home runs in his last 5 games. And the triple tonight for Evan. That puts him ahead in the count, 3-1.
Look again where Tillman is working Longoria.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Everything down in a way, being very, very careful. This is a tough way to pitch. Oh boy, that's
long one down the left field line. Is it going to stay fair? That's a foul ball.
Well, that's exactly the reason that Tillman is pitching so carefully. Doesn't have his great stuff, doesn't have his great command. Missed that one out over the plate, and Evan was just a little too quick. That ball was hammered.
Evan with 7 home runs in his career off Tillman. Home run distance, but foul. And the count is full.
You got to expect that he's going to slow it up even more.
And a shot deep into left center field. That baby's going to get out of here. Goodbye. Home run. Evan Longoria has tied this game with his 35th home run of the year.
And that's a pitch right there, Dwayne, that I don't understand. That's why I thought for sure he was going to slow it up even more. You came with the previous fastball, and it was absolutely hammered, and he was out in front. He's going to make the adjustment on that pitch, so go with something else. Instead, it's the same thing. And I don't know really what you else would have expected there if you're Chris Tillman.
So the home run for Evan Longoria. He gets to 35. Pitch is down to Brad Miller.
Now go eyeball 40. You know?
Yep.
Why not? He's on some kind of streak right now. 4, what is that now? 4 in the last 5-6 games?
Yep. Evan Longoria with this home run tonight. 4 home runs in his last, counting this one, 6 games.
Could do it.
Brad Miller rolls it up that third baseline. It stays fair, hits the bag, and Miller has himself an infield hit. Just up the third base line. And so this infield single follows the Longoria home run. Take a look at this thing.
There was no play to be made. Machado made the right call. You're not going to get him. You let it go. Nothing you could do. A little cue shot. How about those for back-to-back hits? Launch one into the Rays bullpen and then cue shot up the third base line about 90 feet.
Well, you give up a home run and that little infield hit, and that gets the bullpen up.
Well, I think that there probably too is, you know, Buck Showalter sitting off to the side there, realizing that Chris Tillman is not sharp. He's done a heck of a job to get this deep with only giving up the 2 runs.
Corey Dickerson. And he swings at the pitch a little bit up out of the zone. Strike 1. Tommy Hunter up in the bullpen. Upstairs, the home run by Longoria. He's 20th here at Camden Yards. Alex Rodriguez hit 34 here. David Ortiz 28. Johnny Damon hit 22 here. And now Evan, the 4th highest total among visiting hitters with 20 home runs. 2-1 the count.
Well, he's homered in every game of this series. 3 deep.
Foul out of play. 2-2. The 35th home run for Evan. So more than any other right-handed hitter in franchise history. Carlos Pena has the club record with 46. 35 right now, career high for Evan Longoria. Another foul ball back. 33 had been his previous high in a single season. So we'll see, counting this with 15 games left. Go on a little tear and do it.
Every 3rd game. You know he's going to be in there.
And another foul ball by Dickerson. His home run has tied the game 2-2. Miller at first, nobody out. A 2-2 count on Corey Dickerson. Into the dirt, skipping to the backstop. And down to second goes Miller. A wild pitch moves Miller into scoring position.
Comes on the curveball. The curveball has been so erratic here tonight for Tillman. Some left way above the zone. This one here yanked way below the zone. Just has zero feel for that pitch, and a tough attempt for Wieters, and it gets by him.
Sometimes that pitch in the dirt will have kind of a backspin toward the catcher. That one skipped right away from him. (3-2) up the left field side. If that's fair, a foul ball back toward the corner. Dickerson making a bid. That ball winds up out of play. So back to second goes Miller. Dickerson back to the plate. Miller reaching second on a wild pitch after picking up an infield hit. Popped up toward the left field line. Hardy out, Kim in, and Kim makes the catch. So an extended at bat, and Dickerson flies out to the left fielder Kim. That's the first out of the inning. A big out for Tillman, though. And Steven Souza Jr. will bat against him. Souza hit by a pitch in the right hand his last time. And a fly ball to center in the second. Ground ball outside the bag at third, strike one. Souza one short of 50 runs batted in on the year. See the pitch count of Tillman there, a little over 100 pitches now. It's his second start since coming off the disabled list. It's down 1-1. Schaefer on deck. Line drive, caught at third, throw back to second, not in time. Souza Jr. making a bid, trying to get it past Machado, who made the catch. And Miller got back to second to avoid being doubled off.
Well, the way they had the defense set up, Machado, see where he's at line drive, and he's able to range, tall, lanky, heads up going back to second base. You see how quickly, we saw it with Evan Longoria last night, or maybe it was the first game of this series, how they, these third basemen, they have such a feel. And they make that play and they're turning and throwing without even really looking to see if anybody's there. They're just assuming. In this case, Machado assuming that Scope is going to be at second base where he's supposed to be. Certainly was.
Now Schaefer. Pitch is down. Tillman made 105 pitches against Detroit through 6 innings. He's topped that mark here in his second start since being activated. 108 at the moment. There's one down the left field line. That ball will be foul. Boy, the Rays doing everything except actually scoring the go-ahead run. Distributing some souvenirs down toward the left field corner.
And a lot of these hitters have been just a little bit too quick on Tillman. She's kind of like, what is this?
I certainly didn't expect this. A 1-1 count to Schaefer. Now he's down in the count, 1-2. Longoria led off with a home run to tie it. Miller reached on an infield hit. Was wild pitch to second. Dickerson hit a fly ball to left. Souza Jr. lined to third. 1-2 on Schaefer. And he takes it close, very close. They've gotten a break there on that call. It's 2-2.
Trying to drive it down and away, and Chris Tillman, that one he was able to spot up nicely. You can see Fox Tracks sure liked it. Gary Cedarstrom did not. Into center field. Jones going back, still back. That ball's over his head. The go-ahead run will score, and Schaefer winds up at second. It's 3-2 Tampa Bay. Schaefer got it over the head of Adam Jones. So the Rays take the lead.
finally they get that go-ahead run across the plate. They've come so close. And that's going to be it for Tillman. Pitching change coming, and we'll be back after this. Richie Schaefer with a two-base hit against Brad Miller home. And you know, we've seen a couple times when Adam Jones has not been able to get the balls that you would think he might, and this is one of them. And he had a little hamstring issue about the third week in August, and you wonder if that's not part of what we're seeing.
You know what we have not seen is the quick burst that Adam Jones typically will get you. You know, he'll build into, you know, running with some effort, but that quick burst it's been missing, and it has shown up a number of times in this series.
Well, here's Tommy Hunter in the game. First pitch to Montook is a strike. I mean, we've seen him cover all kinds of ground, and you have to believe that that might still be lingering. 0-2 the count. And the Rays have come back to take the lead. Schaefer driving in his third run of the year. Well, he's in scoring position. Montook down in the count. Tapper down to third. That'll be scooped by Machado. Throw to first in time. Rays get the home run from Evan Longoria to tie this game, and eventually a double by Schaefer to put him out in front. We got to the bottom of the sixth, and the Rays now lead 3-2.
Ties it. Richie Schaefer's double puts the Rays ahead 3-2 as we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Talking to Evan Longoria before the game, guys, he said a couple of things he was proud of this year. He said he didn't feel like he got any more hitters' pitchers that missed with their stuff like maybe Tillman did, as BA mentioned, going back to that fastball. He just thinks he's done a better job taking advantage of those hitters' pitches. Also, he said he hadn't had any prolonged slumps this year. That has helped him out. He felt like last year and other years he's had like a 5 to 10 game stretch where he was tweaking things or kind of trying to get better game to game and letting one game affect the next. And he said this year it's always been a clean slate. And the last thing he did that he's going to continue doing moving forward, he put his goals down this year, wrote them down through his suggestion in spring training, and he said it's really helped him focus, and he plans to do it again next year as he's hit most of those goals in 2016, guys.
All right, well, whatever he did, it's working out. And I'll tell you one thing I think, BA, that we've noticed, he hasn't been in the chase mode a lot this year.
Absolutely. Absolutely right. You know, when he would tend to get himself into trouble, that's what he would do, expand the zone. And you'd see a lot of pitchers, you know, throwing soft stuff away, a lot of pitches off the plate away. You'd see those lazy fly balls into right field. You really haven't seen that. You know, he went through a couple of those little stretches, but like he said, they were not prolonged. They were short. He was able to tighten that strike zone back up, and boy, for the majority of the year, pitchers missing out over the plate, the balls have been smoked by Evan Longoria. What a year he's had.
Triple and a home run tonight. 2 runs scored. The home run to tie the game. Rays now lead 3-2. 3-1 to count to Kim. Ground ball and a base hit the other way. Kim's on base to open the bottom of the 6th. The leadoff man on.
And that was a really nice job of hitting by Kim. Watch him just let this ball travel into the zone and then slap it the other way. That's a beautiful thing. You've got some room to play with over there. You had Brad Miller kind of shading up the middle just a little bit. He found the hole on the left side.
Well, middle part of the order now. The number 3 hitter, Manny Machado. Garton, the right-hander. Evelyn, the left-hander. Busy in the Rays bullpen. Big cut. Machado fouls it and falls to one knee after that swing. Machado drove in a run with a fly ball in the first. That opened the scoring.
It's about as big as you get right there.
Officially, Machado nothing of 1 tonight, but with a sacrifice fly. And back in at first. Bounce it back.
It was good to see. It was also good to see Matt Andriese keep an eye on Kim over there, first base with the little throw over, because there's a rumor floating around here that Kim at one point dreamt of stealing a base.
Well, he did one time steal a base.
He did.
He has 1.
Yep.
He's been caught 3 times.
Yeah.
So you can play it safe. Make sure.
I wonder though if there's something to that.
I think
you know
what
I mean?
You could be onto something.
Because even so, well, first of all, 1 out of 4 is not a real threat, and the lead is not big at all. And by the way, this is not a situation that Baltimore is going to give up
absolutely
a run on the bases.
No.
They're going to let these guys, the big boys in the middle, here, swing the bat.
Davis coming up here.
Yeah. So you just wonder if there's a comfort factor, and if you don't feel comfortable, then why not? Throw over there, reset yourself, and get back to it.
Davis on deck, Machado at the plate. pops him up. That's a foul ball. Casale's going to run out of room, however. A couple of rows on the foul side of the screen. The count is still 1-2. A power-laden lineup. They're without Mark Trumbo. He's had some back issues. Out of the lineup last night, out of the lineup tonight. Cut to miss. A strikeout of Machado.
How many times in this series have Rays pitchers been able to get a big strikeout from this Oriole team from the middle of their lineup? You think about the big strikeouts of Machado. There's that changeup again. There's the finish on it. Big swing and a miss. They've been able to get Davis in some big spots. And that'll be it.
So 3 strikeouts for Andres. He will depart with Chris Davis and his big left-handed bat due up. Back in a moment. If he's to figure in this game in terms of a decision, he could only win it. He could not lose it. 68 pitches through 5 1/3, and he departs with a 1-run lead.
Pretty good way to leave the game, and you got to give it to Matt Andres. You know, had a bounce-back start his last time out against the Yankees, then comes here to Baltimore, getting some help from his defense. But what you like is he gave up a couple runs early. Gave up a run in the first, a run in the third, and then he shut this lineup down from that point on and allowed his offense to chip away, and eventually take the lead.
So nice job. He departs with this lead, turns it over to Dana Evelyn with 1 out, the man at first, and the big left-handed bat of Chris Davis. Curveball, that's in there for a strike.
See the reaction of Davis? His first movement was that backside, and that back started to head towards his dugout. Dana Evelyn a little bit lower on the arm angle, big break on that little slurvy breaking ball.
1-1. Evelyn was in the game here Thursday. Touch for a couple of runs. Rays eventually won that game 7-6. Chopped down to first. Schaefer to second, out there, back to first. Schaefer gets back to take the throw, and they get the double play ball out of Chris Davis. So the Rays get a double play to end the 6th inning. So at the end of 6, the Rays lead 3-2. Sports Sun brought to you by Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory, Ram. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by your Southern Chevy dealers. Double play off the bat of Chris Davis, started by Richie Schaefer, got the Rays out of the bottom of the 6th inning. So the Rays come in to hit in the 7th. Kurt Casale leads off against Tommy Hunter. Pitch is a strike. All 3 runs charged to Chris Tillman. Casale lifts a fly ball into right, and Michael Bourne toward the line makes the catch. So that's the first out. Go back around to the top of the order. Logan Forsythe. He has struck out, hit a fly ball to center, and walked in the 5th inning. Pitch to Forsythe is a strike. Chase Whitley up in the Rays bullpen, slated to pitch tonight. 5 1/3 for Andriese. Evelyn got the double play ball, and now it's Whitley up in the bullpen. Forsythe pounds it out of play. We have a 1-run ball game. Rays saw Hunter for an inning and 2/3 Thursday night. He gave up a run on 4 hits in relief of Giovanni Gallardo. A ball, 2 strikes. He did not face Forsythe in that game. Logan lifts it into center. Adam Jones makes this catch. 2 gone in the 7th inning. Greater coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. As we mentioned earlier, the Red Sox with the win, and they've now taken a 2.5 game lead over the Orioles and the Blue Jays. Blue Jays on the road in Anaheim against the Angels. That game just underway, no score in the middle of the 1st. Well, the Red Sox beat the Yankees 6-5 today.
And when you look at that wild card, you know, the AL East teams in that wild card have started to distance themselves from Seattle, Detroit. Now you're looking at 3, 3.5. Everybody in this division so desperate to win, and obviously the goal, especially with the second wild card and the way it's set up nowadays, is to win the division, guarantee yourself a series, as opposed to the 1-game play-in. The Rays have been part of that before. Actually, that year they had like 3 1-game play-ins just to get there.
2-0. That's fouled straight back this way, just below us. And the count on Kiermaier goes to 2-1. Got everybody in the booth ready just in case there.
I was calling for a fair catch. I was not going to try and return that.
Up the left side toward the line. Kim on the run and makes the catch. Kevin Kiermaier making a bid, but Kim makes the catch, and the Rays are up and down 1-2-3 in the 7th inning stretch here in Baltimore. 3-2 Rays. on Fox Sports Sun is brought to you by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram. By Kubota. For more information, go to FloridaKubotaDealers.com. And by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. In Baltimore, headed into the bottom half of the 7th inning with the Rays holding the lead. Here's what's coming up tomorrow on the wrap-up game of this series of the road trip on Rays Live. Pre-game show presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Jake Odorizzi will make the start for the Rays, and we will hear from Jake as he looks for his 10th win of the year. BA will break down J.J. Hardy.
I will.
Looking forward to that.
Very excited.
We'll host the post game and then go home. It's been a long road trip.
It has been.
Happy to get back home.
Hey, I'm going to tell you what. When you have an 11-game, 11-day, that's about as long as they get. You start with a 4-game, you end with a 4-game. It feels like you've moved. Like you're just going to need a map of the house when I get back. Layout.
Chase Whitley is the new pitcher. Andriese for 5 1/3, Evelyn for 2/3, and now Chase Whitley.
Well, this has kind of been the Rays' plan. On the same day that Matt Andriese is going to go, you're going to get Chase Whitley ready, almost treat it like a start for him, as he's going to come in here in the bottom of the 7th. A 1-run game, so this is a pretty big situation, dealing with this very strong lineup, and Jonathan Scope there right in the middle of it.
Well, Whitley pitched 2 innings against the Yankees last Sunday after Andriese had worked the first 5 innings of that game. Rays wound up winning 4-2 as Andriese evened his record at 7-7. Whitley gave up 1 unearned run in that one. 1 hit, a walk, a couple of strikeouts in the 2 innings he worked. And he faces Jonathan Scope to lead it off. And there's a cut and a miss, strike 1. Well, the Rays have both Alex Cobb and Chase Whitley back from Tommy John surgery. Important for them to get action in September. Quickly ahead there. 0-2.
A couple of breaking balls. That last one there, 80 miles an hour, had really good depth to it.
And again, why not? Right back out there, and he strikes out Scope on 3 pitches.
Yeah, that right there is a pitcher not overthinking anything. Hey, it feels good coming out of my hand. I've gotten a couple of swings and misses. I'm going to come back and throw it again. The other thing that I like about it, Dwayne, is the fact that he didn't try to do anything more with it. You know, a lot of times you get strike 1, strike 2, and now the 3rd strike attempt, you really try to yank it and throw it even harder. He just said, look, the first 2 were good enough. Stayed with it. There you go.
There's Pedro Alvarez. Shift on for him. Fastball way up. Ball, no strikes. Couple of balls hit on the ground tonight. Alvarez takes that one for a strike. Grounded into a double play, a 5-6-3 double play in the 4th. Drake up in the bullpen now. Oliver Drake for Baltimore. High pop fly right center. Souza makes the call. Took a peek at Kiermaier, knowing that Kiermaier can be all over the outfield. And he took a peek over there and said, I'll take it. They've come to a meeting of the minds out there. And more.
Those two, I mean, the interactions between those guys during the course of a game. But you're right. Kiermaier's so active, you better keep an eye peeled. May show up right in your hip pocket.
So 2 gone here in the 7th. And this is Matt Wieters.
And if you're a Wall, you might want to keep an eye out for Steven Souza Jr.
Yeah, he's challenged a few this year. Not that he has any grudge against him, but he's not afraid to challenge him at the drop of a hat, which usually does happen when he challenges him. 1-1 now. There's 3 runs, 4 hits. The Orioles 2 runs and 6 hits. Two and one. Pitch just missed. Up and away there. 3-1. Whitley's not going to overpower any hitters. Velocity 90, 91. And a variety of pitches right there. On 3-1, he has Wieters out in front. Off speed, full count.
And that's what he's featured a lot of in this inning. You know, you go back to the breaking balls to Scope to put him away, the changeup to get Alvarez, the changeup right there to Wieters to get back to 3-2.
And he misses. Walks Wieters here with 2 outs. Now J.J. Hardy with a couple hits.
Chase Whitley, look out.
Yes, his 2 hits were literally off Andriese. Ball 1 outside, fastball. Two and 0. Michael Bourne is on deck. 2 outs, a man aboard. Hardy up in the count. That's a strike. He did go. And on the appeal, Larry Cooper confirms. 2-1. Ground ball, shortstop. Little toss to Forsythe from Miller. 7th inning is over. We're headed into the 8th. 3-2 Rays. Right, a 3-2 ball game as we head into the 8th, and the Rays will have the middle part of the order coming up to face right-hander Oliver Drake, the third Baltimore pitcher of the night.
Well, for the 10th time, 17 strikeouts, 13 and a third. Seen him in this series, and he was effective.
Well, here's Evan Longoria. The pitch is a strike, and he comes from right over the top, reminiscent of the old Iron Mike pitching machine.
Iron Mike.
You don't see much of old Iron Mike anymore.
You don't.
Fouled out of play.
He was consistent. That arm went back. You'd see the ball go into his little hand, and then he'd come over the top, and when he let it go, it would shake.
Yeah, just a little clamor with that delivery. Evan with a triple and a home run tonight. A ball, 2 strikes. Home run opened the 6th inning. That tied the game, connecting off Chris Tillman.
That was a full count fastball. The previous one, he had hit a mile down the left field line that was foul. Tillman came right back. Same pitch, similar spot. Well, that's what he kept fair.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Brad Miller on deck. Ground ball down the right side, gets away from Davis, and Longoria is aboard. Well, that ball off Longoria's bat, a little bit of some weird action on it. It's going to be an error charge to Davis. And the Rays get their leadoff man aboard.
Well, here it is. He's just going to reach out. Chris Davis ready for it. There's your ground ball. It kind of skipped initially, but a ball that somehow eluded that glove.
Yeah, there's a lot of mitt there with that first baseman's mitt.
Yeah, and he's been one of the better ones. We talked about it last night as far as all the metrics go. Also a human being, and human beings will make mistakes.
Miller swings and misses, strike 1. Well, we can count on that. But they also do some great things, and we can count on that from time to time. Foul ball right back into the screen. 0-2.
You know, that last thing that you just said, that I could be wrong, but reminiscent of a bumper sticker that I've seen on Todd's car.
Yep. I think that's where I saw it. So we should probably give credit where credit's due. I think he had that on his briefcase as well.
Luggage.
Pitch is wide. 1-2. Luggage easily identifiable that way. A lot of suitcases look alike, except for that one.
Was it Canada that did that in the Olympics? Some country with I mean just ridiculous amount of athletes. The federation got them all matching luggage. So when they all flew back to their country, I mean hundreds upon hundreds of bags that were all the same. It took them hours to sort through all this. It is hilarious.
2-2 the count on Miller, and now the count is full.
I'm getting word. Great Britain.
Great Britain.
Yeah. And there, you know, people taking selfies with just, I mean, piles of bags in the background. Like, where do you even begin to look? That is so funny. And so not well thought out.
Yep. Miller chases this one. And he is out on strikes for the first out in the 8th.
How about the tumbling finishing action on that pitch from Drake? You know, one of the benefits of that coming over the top. Not only does he come over the top, but there's a little funk. And then look at this. That split just tracking right to the dirt.
Now it will be Corey Dickerson. Dickerson faced him and hit a fly ball to center Thursday night. Pops it up on the infield. Machado in from third near the mound. 2 gone. Two outs with Longoria still at first. And the hitter is going to be Steven Souza Jr. Michael Givens up in the bullpen. Souza hit by a pitch back in the 4th, otherwise 0 for 2. And he puts down a bunt, pop down the third base side. He's got himself a base hit. Popped it about halfway down. Longoria up to second base and stays put there on the bag. And Souza has a bunt hit.
How about that? You know, I think Steven Souza Jr. looks down and sees where Manny Machado is and then squares around, pops that ball in the air, but no one's going to be able to make a play on it, and it just dies. A great job creating a 2-out chance.
Now Richie Schaefer double got the ball over Jones' head in center field in the 6th inning. And that's the difference in this game right now. Swing and a miss. Schaefer 1 for 3 tonight. 5 of 21 with the Rays this year. The pitch is down. Three runs for the Rays, all off Chris Tillman. Alex Colomé up in the bullpen now. The top of the 8th. Two and one. Drake is behind Schaefer. 3 balls and a strike. Mikey Montook on deck. Right side toward the line. Bourne's after it. And that ball will fall. I think one big hop into the stands. Davis, Scope, and Bourne all out there. No one could catch up to it. A full count. We'll give Longoria at second and Souza Jr. at first. A running start, 2 outs, full count. Then at first and second. 3-2, runners go, and that's ball 4. Well, that pitch just a little low. Drake thought he might have had a strike, and Buck Showalter is out of the dugout with the bases loaded, 2 gone. Montauk due up, and a pitching change coming. Team up with Positive Coaching Alliance. Its mission to develop better athletes, better people by working to provide all youth and high school athletes a positive, character-building sports experience. Visit foxsportsupports.com to learn more. In the 8th at Camden Yards, the Rays have loaded the bases. 2 outs here, with Mikey Montauk due up, and Michael Givens gets the call, the 4th pitcher of this game for Baltimore, making his 60th appearance. Montauk takes the first pitch outside. Well, Givens pitched here the other night in the first game of this series. Faced Montauk and popped him up on a fly ball to short right. There's a little looper into short right. That's going to fall for a base hit. Longoria scores. Here comes another man in to score. Souza Jr. crossing the plate. Schaefer goes all the way to third. A little bloop base hit will chase home 2 and give the Rays a 5-2 lead.
When you talk about just putting the ball in play, you're doing something. Michael Givens is going to be a tough at bat for a right-handed hitter, in this case Mikey Montauk. But you know what? You put the ball in play, put a swing on it, hit it hard enough. I think his bat no good anymore, but you'd gladly give up that bat for a 2 RBI base hit. That takes the Rays lead out to 3. You pop this game open with something like that.
And now it's Kurt Casale. Fouls it, strike 1. A little bloop base hit out of the reach of scope for Montauk. Longoria, who reached on the opening error, scored, and Souza Jr., who kept the inning going with that bunt single, scored as well. Schaefer, who had walked, is at third. Montauk aboard at first. This one to the backstop. Down the line comes Schaefer, and they're going to get the tag on him. Wieters got an excellent carom, and as Schaefer tried to score, he had no place to go, with Givens putting the tag on him to retire the side. But the Rays come up with a couple runs. Thought they might have another one. And it's 5-2. Bottom of the 8th inning in Baltimore. A strike to count on Michael Bourne, with the Rays holding a 5-2 lead. Bourne facing Chase Whitley. Pitch is wide, 1-1. Whitley worked the 7th. The Rays got 5 1/3 from Matt Andrees. 2/3 from Dana Evelyn, who came on, got a double play ball. And then Whitley worked the 7th. It's now 2-1. Rays adding 2 runs in the top of the 8th inning. Mikey Montook getting that bloop single to drive in a couple runs. Ball 3 to Bourne. So Whitley behind the number 9 hitter, Alex Colomé, busy in the bullpen. There's a strike, full count. On deck, top of the order, Adam Jones. And Young Soo Kim is due next, following Jones is the number 3 hitter. Ground ball right side, Forsythe there. And the throw to first as Whitley works his way back in the count to get Bourne on a ground ball.
Yeah, big out. You do not want Michael Bourne on base to lead off the inning with all the power coming up behind him. Able to come back and get that out. You can see the disappointment with Michael Bourne.
Well, Adam Jones doubled back in the first, scored the first run of the game. He is 1 for 3. The ball, no strikes. Whitley ahead. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ground ball right side. Forsythe on a short hop comes up with it and throws out Jones. So a couple of ground ball outs here. Whitley retiring Bourne and Jones. Young Soo Kim coming up. He has one of the runs batted in tonight for Baltimore with a fly ball to center. Strike at the knees. Second appearance for Whitley. The left side toward the line, a long run, but Montook will run out of room. That ball is out of play. Some excitement down there with that souvenir.
Still going. Yeah, when you get the high five and it's a two-handed hold.
This pitch down. Ball, 2 strikes. The Angels have taken a 1-0 lead in their game with Toronto out in Anaheim. That's in the top of the 3rd inning now. Two outs here in the bottom of the 8th. A 2-2 count on Kim. And the tap back to the hill. Whitley with the underhanded toss. 3 ground ball outs in the 8th. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the 9th with the Rays leading 5-2. Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp go head-to-head on the day's hottest sports topics, Undisputed, with Skip and Shannon weekdays at 9:30 a.m. Eastern and 6:30 a.m. Pacific, only on FS1. Here in Baltimore, we head into the 9th. Mike Wright's the new pitcher for the Orioles. He becomes their 5th pitcher of the game, making his 17th appearance. Well, Kurt Casale will be at the plate. And he goes after the first pitch, lofted this one into center, and it's caught by Jones. So 1 pitch, 1 out. Well, it took 2 pitchers to retire Casale. He was at the plate in the 8th when that pitch, that would have been a wild pitch, skipped by Wieters, and they caught Schaefer trying to score to end that inning. So Casale leads off the 9th with a fly ball to center. Well, the pitch to Forsythe is a strike. Out of play, up the right side, 0-2. Ball, 2 strikes. Tillman charged with 3 runs, Drake with a couple. 2-2 the count to Forsythe. And Reese charged with the 2 Baltimore runs in 5 1/3.
So far, so good. Kevin Cash piecing this together. Matt Andriese recovered after giving up a couple of runs early in the game. Offense rewarded him. Evelyn got a couple of outs. Chase Whitley effective.
Big double play ball there from Evelyn against Chris Davis.
And you know, that was a nice play by Richie Schaefer. You know, coming off the bag, creating that angle, to make that throw to second base and then having to scramble back to the bag, find it, make the catch. That was a really nice play. Didn't get a really chance to highlight that, but it was well done.
And you know, that was the Rays have turned a couple of interesting double plays. They've had a 5-6-3 double play on the ball hit by Pedro Alvarez. And then that ball that was hit to Schaefer, that's a 3-5-3. Longoria in the middle of that with Davis up there. High fly ball center field. And Jones is there to put that one away. 2 gone. Let's revisit that double play started by Richie Schaefer.
Listen, he's had a nice night, and this is another part of it. Okay, get off the bag, turn, throw right to the bag, then scramble back. And a nice job of finding the bag, making the catch. That was a nice job there by the Rays first baseman. Not to mention driving in the go-ahead run. 3-6er all over the place here tonight.
Kevin Kiermaier rolls it down to first, comes up on Davis, who makes the play unassisted. It's a 1-2-3. 9th inning here for Wright. Bottom of the 9th coming. 5-2 Rays. Lead into the bottom of the 9th inning in Baltimore tonight. We'll be with you tomorrow afternoon. Jake Odorizzi, 6-1 in his last 11 starts. He'll be on the hill looking for his 10th win. To be opposed by Wade Miley. And our coverage begins at 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, if this result here holds up, the Rays got a chance to win 3 out of 4 tomorrow, sending Odorizzi to the mound. We know how well he's been throwing the baseball. Wade Miley has been struggling terribly for the Orioles. And so you set yourself up and you put yourself in a nice position. First things first, 3 outs here in the 9th by this man right here, who's been awfully good at doing that all season long. 33 out of 35. ERA has dipped below 2.
Well, he'll have to face the middle of the order, starting with Manny Machado, then Chris Davis and Jonathan Scope. Colomé came on, picked up the save in the 7-6 game here Thursday, and started with the top of the order, getting Jones and giving up a hit to Scope and a base hit to Machado. You got Trumbo and Davis to end that one. Now it's Machado to start the bottom of the 9th. And the pitch is a high fastball out of the zone. 1-0. There's a strike. 1-1. There again. Doubled up in the same spot. 1-2. Machado drove in a run with a fly ball in the first. Otherwise 0 for 2. Two and two. It's been a tough run for the Rays here at Oriole Park this year. And a liner, base hit over the head of Miller. Into left. There's a leadoff single.
Manny Machado showing some very good plate coverage there. That little slider by Colome, and Machado's able to go down there and get that ball, get it into left field, leadoff man aboard. And look at that ball moving down. Look at Kurt DeSalle going down to try and block that pitch, but Machado's able to go down, get it, and get it over the head of Brad Miller.
There's Chris Davis. 1 for 3. Ball 1. Davis homered in last night's game, his 38th of the year. And a ground ball. Miller to Longoria over to first. Not going to be in time. But they get the lead man, Machado, out. 6-5 on the force at second.
Yeah, an awkward attempt at a turn there because of the way the defense was set up. And watch Brad Miller as he goes to flip this to Longoria. Takes a little time. That flip takes a little while to get there. They do the best they can, but Davis is able to beat it out.
Jonathan Scope's going to be the hitter. 0 for 3 tonight. And 3 for 6 in his career against Colome. Ground ball outside of third, down in front of Bobby Dickerson, the third base coach. One on, one out. One and one. High right there. Pedro Alvarez on deck. He is the DH. A popper. Right side, Schaefer in foul territory. Back to the infield, makes the catch, and that's a nice play right there by Schaefer.
Now he's just showing off. I mean, he's having himself quite a night. And that right there, you know, he set himself up. He didn't even try to turn around. He got there in time and sat himself up to make this catch. Watch, he's watching it the whole way. Slow it down, slow it down. Now reach and make a nice little basket catch. Not easy.
Yeah, and a two-hand basket catch.
Safe.
Yep. Make sure that ball stays in that big mitt. Well, here is Pedro Alvarez. Alvarez 0 for 3 tonight, including a ground ball double play. Liner into right. Souza Jr. right there, and the Rays win it. Alvarez lines to right, and the Rays have beaten Baltimore. It's a 5-2 final. No runs, a hit, and a man left for the Orioles in the 9th inning. And so for the Rays, it's a 5-2 victory. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors, 6 left for the Rays. 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, and 4 men left by Baltimore. It'll be a win for the Rays starting pitcher Matt Andriese tonight. He left this game with a chance to win it, could not lose it, and the Rays maintain that lead. So Andriese now 8-6.